What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and I hope you like this video. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, they are back, and we are here for season 1 of episode episode 1 of season 12. So we start off, y'all know this first episode is really going to just be getting us caught up on what's going on, seeing who's who, trying to get the lay of the land and figuring out people's storylines. Now this episode sort of got hijacked. You know, I always tell y'all when reality TV meets real life. So this episode sort of got hijacked with a real life situation with Dorit and the home invasion. We'll get to that in a minute. But we start off, we see that Kyle is giving us an update on everything going on in her life. We have Portia. She said Portia is in a much better space. She's doing really well. Remember last season, she was sort of seemed like she was just in a, I'm not going to say she was depressed, but she was in a depressed state. As somebody who is in education, I went through the whole pandemic in education, and I'm dealing with this with my students now. There was a lot, and it didn't matter whether you were in an affluent home where you had all the luxuries and you didn't have to worry about where your meals were coming from, and you had, you know, the Xbox or whatever the hell the kids play these days, you know, you had all the luxuries, or if you were in, you know, a situation that wasn't so stellar. The kids went through a hard time with the pandemic, right? There was a lot of anxiety, a lot of depression, a lot of boredom. Kids who were once in activities and, you know, they went here and they went there and they did this and they did that. They literally were doing absolutely nothing. In Portia's situation, yes, she had money, you know, she's affluent. Family was affluent, but she's got this big old house that was empty. It was just her mama, her daddy, her sisters weren't there. It was a lot. And so I definitely understand it, but she said that she's in a much better space. She's come out of it. She did have her bat mitzvah, and it seemed like they showed footage. She was happy and smiling. So I was happy to hear that. We have Garcelle and Sutton down in Miami, because Garcelle was speaking at her charity for the Haitian people. We saw when she went out to dinner with her sisters, and Sutton was with her. We know that Sutton and Garcelle have a genuine friendship, right? They genuinely have a friendship. Something that Sutton said to Garcelle, though, is making me be like, ee. So we found out on Watch What Happens Live, Sutton made a statement about, she was defending Garcelle in her mind, and she made a statement about how she had allowed Lisa Rinna and Harry to sit at her table at the Elton John AIDS benefit, charity dinner, whatever, and how they never thanked her. And she said, you know, and that was in direct connection to Lisa making a big deal about Garcelle never thanking her for that damn spaghetti sauce, okay? And later on in the episode, we find out that Garcelle is going to work out with Erica, and Sutton makes a comment to the effect of, I can't believe, like, after the way she treated me, why would you be going to hang out with her? Well, first of all, Sutton, girl, you know they filming for the show, right? Because Erica and Garcelle just going on some random ass workout. Come on. Second of all, I was like, Garcelle, you better watch out, because in her mind, she defended you, and she put herself on the line to defend you against Lisa Rinna, and she feel like you're not doing the same. That's a warning shot. I'm going to see if that come back later on in the episode, and she throws it in Garcelle's face, what she did for her to defend her friend. Now, while this is going on, Lisa Rinna is talking to Erica, and again, they having that same conversation, and of course, Lisa Rinna is pissed. How could she do that? What is she talking about? Why would she bring that up? What was the purpose in it? And so she is pissed about it. We found out that Erica is, you know, having sex, and she dating, and child, she said she been drinking a little too much, you know. She had blackouts, things she don't remember. She was eating a lot of fast food, honey. We see that Sutton and Crystal have become really good friends. Child, Crystal is still redecorating that basement. She said that things are just, you know, delays and stuff. Now, we know that because of the panorama, there have been a lot of delays with things. My parents ordered some furniture back in October. It didn't get delivered till March, and when it did come, it was wrong. They had to send it back and start all over again. I had a girlfriend who just moved into a new home, and they ordered new furniture back in October, and they literally, well, really, I think it might have been earlier than that, and they literally just got it delivered. So That's legit, but she said the budget has not gone up, child. They are still within their budget, and it's going to get done. It's just going to take a little bit longer. Now, we see that Sutton and Crystal have become really good friends. That's a lie. I ain't gonna say really good friends. They've worked on putting what happened last year behind them and building a friendship. Let me say that. They have not become really good friends. But they are in a good space. They are definitely in a good space. And Sutton, once again, was talking to Crystal about Erica, about what happened last year, and about the whole Watch What Happens Live situation. And Crystal was like, listen, let me let y'all know something. Just because I'm in a better space with Sutton doesn't mean that I don't see Sutton. I see Sutton. I see her for her works. Okay. Okay. So then we see Erica and Garcelle go out on this little workout date, right? And after they work out, of course, they got to sit down and they got to talk. So Garcelle is trying to talk to Erica about Sutton and saying, well, don't you think you owe Sutton an apology? And Erica was like, girl, for what? Like, what I owe her an apology for? Like, she said, but you threatened her. And again, we right back at this whole Erica trying to act like she didn't threaten that woman and that she didn't see what the big deal was, and that Sutton, and Erica was like, but listen, all of us were talking shit. Like, you mad at Sutton and everybody had something to say. And she was like, yeah, but she was the ringleader. And everything she said has been disproven. She stopped short of saying she's been cleared, but she said it's been disproven. Now, when the producers asked her what she was talking about, what had been disproven, she gonna tell the producers, I don't know, y'all go do the research. I figured I'll go read what my lawyers put out. Now, without going too deep into all of the records, child, because ain't nobody got time for that. If you go over to Instagram, I think it's called the Bravo Docket, they broke it all down, okay? But just let me give you the short version of the story. Erica's lawyers are arguing that she had no knowledge of the situation because they never physically put $20 million in her LLC. However, the bankruptcy court has been able to show that Erica still benefited from said $21 million, and that the firm was paying her Amex bill, and the firm did use money that allegedly was stolen from the victims. So it's all about the way it broke down to me is semantics. At the end of the day, no, they didn't put $20 million in Erica's bank account and she spent it. However, she did still benefit from the victim's money, and ergo, Erica, you ain't off the damn hook. At this point, it's about whether Erica knew where the money was coming from or not. And again, I'm not about to relitigate all of that and go back down that road, but I already told y'all my 2 cents on what I think Erica knew or didn't know. Neither here nor there. That's what she's sticking to. So in her mind, Sutton started all of this shit last year, and come to find out, in her mind, she wasn't even guilty, and that nobody is talking about that. That's not the information that's in the blogs, baby. And Garcelle was like, listen, I find it interesting that none of this information is in the blogs. Ain't nobody talking about her being cleared up. Ain't nobody talking about she ain't had nothing to do with it. But at the end of the day, girl, Erica, it's still not a good look, honey. It's still not a good look. And you still treated Sutton like some shit. Like, at the end of the day, you still treated my friend bad. And I feel like you still should apologize, because the way you went at her was some bullshit. Erica ain't coming up off of it, so it don't matter. So then we see Dorit. She's home with the churn. It's the morning, the earlier the day of the invasion. We see her talking to Garcelle. Garcelle's Dorit was saying how her and Garcelle are in a better place. She just know now that she can't talk too much because Garcelle don't like it when she talks too much. Girl, you missed the whole purpose of that conversation you had with Garcelle last year. It went all the way over your head. It ain't about you talking too much, okay? Get that out your head. But anyway, but of course later on that night was the home invasion. Again, I don't need to reiterate that. We know what happened. The 3 men broke in her house, held her at gunpoint, robbed her. Her kids were in the room down the hall. And they showed us some of the video, the surveillance footage and stuff like that. The next morning, once it hit the news, all the ladies, well, not all the ladies, Erica, Lisa, and Kyle went over to go check on Sutton. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it right there. PK wasn't there. He was very upset that he wasn't there. I'm gonna get to the story in a second. Now, Kyle ended up having a meet up with Sutton. Baby, Sutton is not here for none of it, okay? And listen, y'all know that I go up and down with Sutton. Y'all know some days I like Sutton, some days I don't. This is I'm not sure how I feel about you today, Sutton. Because I have my feelings on this whole break-in situation. I do. But I also feel like if I were... I also feel like I could be a little sensitive. And I can be sensitive to other people. Sutton could care less about the fact that that woman was robbed and held at gunpoint. Sutton is mad that she can't get her designer through customs through immigration because she got shit to do for her business. And the fact that immigration ain't trying to let her designer through is holding her up. And Kyle was like, girl, are you really comparing your designer not getting through immigration to this woman being held at gunpoint with her churn down the hall? Baby, Sutton gonna say, to me it is. Now, Sutton, I don't know if you're just being obstinate because it's Dorit and you feel some kind of way about Dorit, or if you really truly are that clueless about the severity and the fact that can we not compare you not being able to get your designer through customs or immigration to a woman being held at gunpoint? Can we not compare the two? Child, Kyle was like, girl, for real? So then she starts talking about the fact that she's dating and she looking for a man. And Kyle was like, well, you know, Erica's dating too. Here go Sutton. Yeah, but I don't need a man to be rich. I have my own money. Sutton. Whew, child. Now, Sutton is going to be coming for Erica all season. Let's be clear. Because in Sutton's mind, Erica was disrespectful to her. Erica was rude for no reason. So she is going to be coming for Erica all season long. Let's be clear about that. Okay? Oh, gosh. That thing cracked me up. I said, this damn Sutton. Now, while this is going on, Lisa and Crystal are checking out the spot because Lisa is throwing a party for Harry. It's his 70th birthday. And she is making a big deal about the fact that the man is 70. Crystal was like, girl, okay. She was like, 70! But he's 70! Crystal was like, okay. That's the number that comes after 69. Like, girl, what are you talking about? I mean, but then she was like, well, I don't know if we should still have the party. I mean, I don't know. With everything going on with Dorit, I don't know. Will it be insensitive? Like, how do you think Dorit will feel? She said, well, we'll move forward, but it's going to depend on how Dorit feels. We're going to see how Dorit feels. Now, on one hand, I understand where she's coming from. On the other hand, I'm like, girl, it's your husband's 70th birthday party. Clearly, you've been planning it because the party is supposed to be like the next day. Girl. Anyway. So then Kyle back over with Sutton. She's talking about how she didn't, she feels bad because she didn't defend Sutton last year when Erica, threatened her. But I thought she was getting ready to apologize to Sutton, but then she talked about, well, I know that Erica, Erica just gets real sensitive. We know that Erica doesn't really mean it, but that's just how she, she turns on bitch mode when she's hurt. And she probably went home that night and cried. Sutton was like, I'm supposed to feel bad because maybe she went home and cried? Like, the woman came for me and threatened me and nobody defended me. Nobody had anything to say about it. And now you want me to feel sorry for her because maybe she went home and was upset about it? Like, really? So then that night or the next day the same day the same day that the house was broken into, Kyle invites everybody over to see Dorit. And maybe not everybody, but Garcelle, Erica, and Lisa came over with Dorit. Now, Erica came through first, and Erica was like, Kyle was like, I know Erica's still mad at me about, Mauricio and PK making fun of her last year. Like, I know, like, we've talked and stuff, but I know she ain't over it. I know Erica. And Eric, it was a little uncomfortable, and Mauricio came in there, and the first thing out of Erica's mouth was, you hurt my feelings. And Mauricio was like, I'm sorry. And she was like, you hurt my feelings. But he did apologize, and for the moment they moved up. They moved on. But I do agree with Kyle. Erica be holding shit in the pocket. It ain't done, and it'll probably come up again before the season is over. But we'll get to that when we get to it. Dorit comes over, and she tells the story, child. And she talked about how her daughter was in the bed with her, but she put the daughter in her own bed. They always sleep in her bed when PK's not there. But that particular night, she had put them in their room. And when she heard her door open, she thought it was her child because that's what she thought it was. And then she realized it was a man. And then, you know, she was pleading for her life. And she was like, I'll show you where everything is, but please don't kill me. My kids are in the house. They need their mommy. Yada, yada, yada. It was very emotional. She was upset. Everybody hugged her. She got a little PTSD because when the dog started barking, she got upset and was like, Kyle, please, please, please go check and find out what's going on. Kyle was like, girl, my dog's always barking. I got security. We good. Now, on Watch What Happens Live, y'all know I normally don't bring in Watch What Happens Live, but it just so happened that it was running while I was trying to do something else. She explained that she didn't have her alarm on, and she said because the kids walk around, she don't wait to put the alarm on because they might set, if they wake up in the middle of the night and they're wandering around the house, they might set the alarm off. First of all, wouldn't you want, like, you have 2 little children, wouldn't you want the alarm to go off if they wandering around the house in the middle of the night? God forbid anything could happen to them. Wouldn't you want to know that they're up? Number one. Number two, I don't even have a state-of-the-art alarm system, okay? I have a very basic alarm system on my home. And there's a difference between indoor-outdoor alarm, right? Like, your kids walking around the house should not set off your alarm the same way as somebody outside lurking and definitely busting the damn glass window. It really absolutely should be a difference. So I'm not understanding how your kids wandering around have anything to do with you not turning your alarm system on. I ain't never heard no shit like that before. And again, even if you have indoor-outdoor alarms, you should be able to separate the two, right? Anyway, neither here nor there. That's why the alarm didn't go off when the people broke the glass, because she ain't had the alarm on. But her kids slept through everything. She slept through everything. They stole all her shit. PK shows up. He's upset. He's crying. They're crying. We cry together. Everybody's crying. They hugging her. You so strong. You so strong. You so strong. Lisa asks about having the party for Harry. PK says, you go ahead, because in my religion, we don't believe in canceling a good thing for a bad thing. We're not going to let them win. You had that party for Harry, and we're going to have a good time. And the episode ends with Dorit crying on the bench, waiting for PK to come back because he had lost his phone. Y'all let me know what y'all think. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.